Ortiz into deep right field. Back is Sheffield. We'll see you later tonight.
Meek deals. Base hit to right field. Here comes Richardson. Here's the throw from Markakis. Richardson is safe. Derek Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single. 1-1 for Tyson. Batista with a drive. Deep left field. No doubt about it.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Chasing 2 podcast, episode number 20. I'm Blake Frazier alongside Dylan Smith. Dylan, free agency, the stove getting hot, starting to get some more signings in here. We'll kick it off with George Springer. He signs a massive contract with the Toronto Blue Jays, 6 years, $150 million. That was the Blue Jays' main target. All along, they struck out on a lot of guys, Lindor, DJ LeMahieu, Kyle Hendricks, Corey Kluber, and then they finally get their guy. What was your reaction when you saw that move?
Yeah, I mean, great move for the Jays. I think that they still need a bigger piece as far as like a Nolan Arenado, but step in the right direction for sure. And they've made a couple more moves too.
Yeah, we'll talk about Yates and chat with later on in this pod, but you get Springer. The guy just turned 31 years old. You look at his WAR the last 4 years, and in terms of center fielders, the only guys that are better are Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, Christian Yelich, and this guy is a performer in the playoffs. Yeah, you know, he's involved in a huge cheating scandal, but there's no denying that, look what he did in 2019. He only played 122 games, and he hit 39 home runs. He's on pace to hit over 50 homers, so a guy that's a proven hitter, top that lineup. He's going to provide a lot of insight and veteran leadership for that young Jays team, and it's just different as a Jays fan. This is the first time in my lifetime that a player has come to Toronto in his prime. This guy just turned 31 years old. He's in the prime of his career, so it's nice to see the Blue Jays finally spending. I mean, you saw it last year with Ryu, the 4-year, $80 million contract, and this year they kind of doubled down. But do you get a sense that the Blue Jays, like, what do you think their next move would be? You said like get a guy like Arenado, but if they do stay in the free agency, do you see a Trevor Bauer in the works there?
I don't know. It's hard for me to see Bauer going there just because I feel like they can complement their roster a lot more and spread that money around, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think a Jake Odorizzi would be good, and then it allows you to go sign Brad Hand as well. The Blue Jays do have money, but for future flexibility, and plus you're going to have to, at some point, extend some of these young guys.
Correct.
Does Bauer for 5 years change your outlook on the future with your young guys? And to me, it does. Yeah. But with the Odorizzi on 3-year deal, it's kind of his contract's coming up when you're ready to sign some extensions. So that's where I see things. Maybe even James Paxton, who's a Canadian.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe he wants to come home and go pitch for the Jays, and that would be a good pickup too if he's healthy.
So when I look at the Blue Jays, everybody knows they got this unbelievable farm system. Jordan Groshans, Austin Martin, who they just drafted in the first round last year. I'm thinking it's time to finally, not sell the farm completely, but, trade one of those top prospects for a pitcher. A guy that would interest me is Luis Castillo. The Reds have been in talks with the Yankees to possibly move him. Potentially maybe Sonny Gray. But if the Jays can go out and trade Jordan Groshans and a couple pitching prospects for Luis Castillo, I think they should be all over that. Yeah,
I mean, that would make sense. Another trade possibility that comes up to me would be the Cubs and getting Chris Bryant and Kyle Hendricks for a team that really needs to replenish their farm system.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that is to trade guys with control. Hendricks has 3 years of control at $13 million. It's a perfect fit.
Mm-hmm.
And Hendricks is very underrated. He's a guy. He's a number 1 and 2.
Absolutely.
So you put Hendricks and Bryant into that lineup and that rotation.
Yeah.
Add a Brad Hand. Hey, maybe you are going to compete with the Yankees for the division or the Rays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you look at the Jays pitching rotation right now, you got Ryu, you got Pearson, you got Ray, Stripling, Roark. They're missing that number 2 guy, right? You got to have.
I would say number 1, to be honest. I mean, Ryu was
really
in the Cy Young.
Number 2. Yeah. He's a good number 2.
He was in the Cy Young contention this past year.
Yeah.
I don't think he should have been in the top 3. I think Dallas Keuchel got snubbed amongst, others, but, he is a really good number 2 pitcher.
Yep.
And I think, to get a true ace and then take the workload off of Ryu
Yep.
and the pressure off Ryu would be very beneficial.
So it seemed like it's kind of a roller coaster of emotions because late when was it? Monday night, the Blue Jays signed Springer. Next day, they 9 a.m. rolls around and the Jays have signed Michael Brantley to a 3-year deal. I was like, holy crap, like what's going on here? And then 11 o'clock rolls around and all of a sudden there's no deal. I'm just like, what the heck's going on here? But it was weird to see like so many like trusted, reliable analysts on Twitter like get that wrong. You just don't see that very often from those types of guys. But boy, it would have been nice to add Michael Brantley to that lineup, a lineup that could have a lot of potential. Yeah, there's some guys that need to figure it out. Vlad, who knows? He's down 50 pounds. Maybe he burst out this season. I'm not sure. But when you look at the Blue Jays lineup, like what are they missing?
To me, it would be a true superstar, generational talent type player. I mean, Springer is an all-star. Springer is consistent. He's a gamer. He's a championship player. He's, in my mind, one of a perfect baseball player, a gamer.
Yeah.
But he's not a generational talent. He's not the guy that's going to, even though he is clutch. I will say that.
Yeah.
But
You're used to
what
him
I'm trying
in
to
the
get
AL
at,
West.
he's not. He's not Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Okay. He's
Yeah.
not Arenado. He's not Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
He's a step right below that.
Mhm.
So if you can get a guy to put in the middle of that order, because you want Springer to lead off.
Absolutely, you do. Yep.
Right now, they're talking, let's put Springer in the 3 hole. Let's put Springer in the 4 hole. He's a leadoff guy.
Yeah.
And then you go down and you see Biggio, Bichette, and Vlad. To me, I know you're a Jays fan, so you're a little bit more optimistic.
Yeah.
Okay? That has potential to be a dangerous lineup. Right now, to me, it is not a dangerous lineup. I think they're not there yet. But if you were to go and get Arenado and slide Vlad over to first base, you plug Arenado in that 3 hole, you have Springer, Bichette, Arenado. It spreads it out, and it gives you it takes pressure off of all those young players,
Yeah.
and it allows them to see a guy with like 6 platinum gloves
Yeah.
out there every single day working his ass off,
Yeah.
and gives them a leader.
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
think that Nolan Arenado is ready to do that.
So
And
if you're Ross Atkins, you put your little GM cap on right now.
yeah,
What would your trade proposal be to get a guy like Arenado?
it would have to start with Groshans because Trevor Story is a free agent next year,
Yep.
and Manoah would have to be the start with those 2. Then
Yep.
you're gonna send Lourdes Gurriel with them,
Yep.
and that allows you to then sign a guy like Jock Peterson to replace Gurriel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lefty bat. Teoscar's right-handed, Springer's right-handed, and Grichuk's right-handed. Okay,
Yep.
so
I'm following you.
So at that point, you're getting a guy with control who just had a breakout season in Gurriel at a cheap price because I believe he signed like
A 7-year deal. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Then you're getting Groshans, who's one of the Jays' top prospects.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays shortstop, which is a position you're going to need very shortly here. And Groshans isn't far away. Okay. Then you're getting a Manoah, who's also not that far away. Maybe what, 2 years?
Yeah, maybe even next year.
Yeah. So I think it starts with those 3 players, and maybe you add a lower tier prospect. At that point, you're getting as long as Arenado agrees to push back his
The
opt-out,
option. Yeah. Yeah.
you're getting a superstar and a guy that plays premium defense every single game. If you thought Josh Donaldson was a good defender, okay, if you got Nolan Arenado, you'd blow Josh Donaldson out of the water.
Yeah, but that would be like the impact bat, though. Similar. Arenado is a way better player than Josh Donaldson, but the Blue Jays fans, that would be like similar. When they brought in Josh Donaldson, everyone was like, okay, it's go time, right? And they went out and made all those moves and made the playoffs in 2015, 2016. But you're kind of getting the sense that the Blue Jays are kind of ready to do something like that similar. This is the first time that we've seen it with this management, Shapiro and Atkins. Previously, they did it under Alice Anthopoulos, who wasn't shy of trading top prospects, that's for sure. But going back to your point, if they can get Arenado without trading Austin Martin, I think you do that in a heartbeat.
Well, to me, I got to go back to the Bryant and Hendricks deal.
Yeah.
I think that the Jays have enough young players that are MLB ready right now.
Yeah.
For the Cubs to take well, obviously Bryant's a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
So really the deal is getting Bryant's money off the books.
Yeah.
But also getting prospect capital back.
Yeah.
And the main piece in that deal would be Kyle Hendricks to give
He's
you
got 3
a
years
piece in the
left.
rotation.
Yeah.
Okay. So Groshans also would be in that deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be realistic. You have Bichette, you have Biggio.
He's in a roadblock. There's really no room for him right now.
Okay. Groshans is in that deal. Gurriel's in that deal still.
Yeah.
Okay. Same 2 guys. But now I don't think Manoah's in it.
Okay.
I think that you can get away with giving him like an Anthony K in there.
Okay.
And let's see what you guys got. Hey,
we got maybe
even sending Roark over, and that's it. You go from
he's
adding
a UFA too.
20 or what would I think Bryant's making 20 million in ARB. So that's 33 million you'd be taking on.
Yeah.
You send Roark over, they get a pitcher for this season,
and that's
which also takes it 12 million. So you're only adding 21 million, but and you're giving them the prospect capital they need. Plus Gurriel, young player.
Makes sense.
With control.
The Blue Jays have a lot of options, like if they go the trade route, right? Like you said, they got a lot of money to spend.
To me, the trade route is the way to go because
I think so too. I think so too.
I mean, I know that you kind of have a looming DH in Vlad, possibly. I know he lost weight, or Tellez, or Teoscar.
Hernandez isn't very good defensively. Yeah. Tellez is,
but my mind keeps going. Let's go get Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah, you've been on those Ozuna to Toronto train for a long time.
I feel like that's still the move that makes sense, but you would have to complement that with
a trade.
Yeah. So I mean, if they were gonna go get Brantley, and Brantley basically is that left-handed bat that isn't. He's starting to get older. He's not gonna play. If it was a 3-year deal, say he did sign that 3-year deal. Okay,
you're probably getting 1 year of him and left.
34, 35, and 36.
Yeah.
Okay. He's DHing most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He can still play pretty good left field.
Rogers Center is not a easy place to play every day in the outfield.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking if you're already saying, hey, we'll get Brantley on $13 million is what I would say it probably was.
Yeah.
Why don't we go get Ozuna for 18 to 20?
Yeah.
And let him mash in our middle of the order. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You guys needed a run producer in the middle of the order.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at.
There's been a lot of talk of Biggio potentially batting 9th, right?
Yeah.
Kind of switch over that lineup. They're talking about an MLB network last night. Is that going to be sort of a normal thing that's starting to occur? Having that guy at the bottom of the lineup that can turn it over?
Yeah, I think that we've started to see that across the league. I don't think that the number 9 spot is what it once was, of just your worst hitters batting 9th or your catchers batting 9th.
Yeah.
I know, just for example, obviously I've watched this team a lot. Yeah. When the Angels had Cole Calhoun and David Fletcher's one of their best hitters. They would bat him 9th to turn over the lineup later in the game to Calhoun and Trout.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a new thing. I think it's kind of happening for the past couple of years. I don't think Biggio will be batting 9th.
Yeah.
But we'll see. If anything, I think Grichuk's in that 9 hole. I don't see Biggio going down especially because he's left-handed and they don't have many left-handed bats.
Yeah, they got him and Tellez. That's it. So they are missing that lefty.
Tellez isn't going to start every day unless
unless it's a trade.
I'm assuming they're going to get another piece. So
Let's stick with the Jays here real quick. They signed Kirby Yates, guy who was one of the best relievers in baseball in 2019, 1.12 ERA, 41 saves. He had some bone spurs removed from his elbow last year, limited him to 4 innings only. But they get Yates 1 year, 5.5 million. This is great value for the Blue Jays that their bullpen really struggled last year. They lose Ken Giles to free agency with Tommy John. So there was kind of a hole there to for a guy that comes in to pick up some saves. There is some incentives if he appears in 70 games. It goes up to $10 million. So it'll be interesting to see how that workload goes for him. But what do you think with Kirby Yates?
I think it's a good deal. Like I've told you before, I wouldn't pencil him into the ninth for 35 plus saves. Okay,
Okay.
he's coming off surgery.
Yep.
Obviously that's why it's only $5 million with performance bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think obviously they're still linked to Brad Hand.
Yep.
If they were comfortable with Kirby Yates, I think it would be reckless to say Kirby Yates is going to get me 35 saves
Yeah.
with an ERA below 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and that's just because he had surgery. The last 2 years he's been a dominant reliever. We'll
Yep.
see how he comes back this year. But if he ends up being your setup man or your closer, but you have to have a backup plan.
For
And
sure.
I think if you're gonna go throw money at somebody, it's gonna be Brad Hand.
Yep.
Um, and that's how I feel about the deal. I mean, it's a good deal. I just don't think that the Jays should be reckless enough to say he's our closer.
Gotcha.
See what happens,
Yep.
because as we've seen, Kimbrel to the Cubs,
Yep.
Cody Allen to the
Sometimes it
Angels.
doesn't work
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Wade Davis to the Rockies.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, that change of scenery or even just an injury can derail the production, and that's most of the time, I'd say. So, um, it'd be a big ask to think that he's going to be an all-star reliever this year. And obviously, you're hoping for that,
Absolutely.
but
100%.
you're hoping for that or just below that production. But it'd be reckless to say, you're expecting that of him coming off surgery.
And, ever since he kind of developed that split finger pitch, he's really turned it on. It's turned into one of the best pitches for him. The Blue Jays also picked up Tyler Chatwood, who spent the last few years with the Cubs. They get him 1 year, $3 million deal. I'm not having much expectations for this guy. I mean, if he's as a respectable 4 ERA, I think the Jays will take that. He's a guy that has started in the past. They could use him in the bullpen. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But enough with the Blue Jays. We talked about the Blue Jays for a long time already. Let's stick in the AL East. Let's talk about Corey Kluber. He goes to the New York Yankees, 1 year, $11 million deal. I can't believe the Yankees gave this man so much guaranteed money when he has hardly pitched the last 2 years. You just kind of think the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he was asking, hey, $8 million plus incentives, and the
Yeah,
Yankees said, you know what? Screw the incentives. Let's go. We saw you throw. We believe in you. We're hoping for a bounce back. We think we could, help you out, take care of you, and I mean, we'll see, right? Sorry if you hear a little construction in the background.
it's okay.
We're getting a pool put in. So, um, but anyways, yeah, I think that Kluber Kluber is so risky. And the Yankees need answers. So don't expect them to sit on their hands. I think they're gonna fill out this rotation pretty quickly. They're gonna go over the luxury tax unless they make some type of trade. So that's where I'm at on the Kluber deal.
100%. I completely agree with you there. But when you look at the rotation, you add Kluber to that. They got Garrett Cole. Tanaka doesn't look like he's come back. He wants a lot, 15 to $20 million range. There's a lot of question marks in that rotation. You got Garcia, a couple of young guys. You got Severino coming back off of Tommy John. When you look at that rotation, you got to think that maybe an Odorizzi could be in the works there or something. What do you think? That rotation kind of scares me right now.
They need some innings eaters. I like this guy, Mike Leake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know he didn't pitch last season, so that means he's gonna be cheap.
Yeah.
And the Yankees need cheap, and they need innings. So, I don't know how maintained he is because he didn't pitch last season.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the question of like David Price. He didn't pitch last season, so we don't know.
For sure.
You know, where he's at arm wise, how the durability is going to be. But I think like a guy like Mike Leake would be good. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Maybe Cole Hamels, but that's another guy that didn't
Hasn't
pitch.
pitched. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, that there's a lot of just guys that are looking for bounce backs, and
They can even bring back a guy like James Paxton. Like,
I think he's gonna cost too much though.
you think?
I think
Yeah.
that I think their best bet is to trade Clint Frazier or try to get Aaron Hicks money off the books and get a pitcher that way. I'm not saying they're gonna get a Luis Castillo doing that, but
Yeah. If they
they
want to
might.
do that, they're gonna have to go up Glaber. Like, there's
Oh, for Castillo, yeah, of
yeah, like
course.
you're gonna have to.
Well, I'm thinking like you can trade for um just trying to Marco Gonzalez,
Yeah.
maybe from
Yeah.
Seattle. I
Hmm.
know Seattle's trying to kind of turn the page now there, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking a guy is not going to cost you. He's got some control. And he might cost you a bit, but I think
Yeah.
Clint Frazier might, move the needle closer to a deal. But speaking of bounce backs, Angels signed Jose Quintana.
That's right.
So um, we'll see what happens. Obviously, he was an all-star with the White Sox.
Yep.
He was decent with the Cubs, but I think the thing that stands out to me
The dollar.
is,
The dollars.
well, yeah, I mean, I think that wasn't a terrible deal
Yep.
money-wise,
Hmm.
but other than that, he he basically makes 32 starts a year.
For
Is
sure.
durable.
One of the most
He's gonna give you
durable
innings.
pitchers. Yep. And when he was with the
So
White Sox, he had four straight seasons of 200 innings plus. And I think he's
7 years of 32 starts in a
Ex
row.
he's had 1
Yeah.
year where he hadn't started 32 games. So this guy's gonna
Yep.
take the ball every 5 days. He's gonna give you 6 plus innings, and if you're the Angels for 8 million, you're gonna take that. The Angels fans, for them, I think it's we need to sign Trevor Bauer or it's bust. Like I've been
Yeah.
reading on Twitter, they love Trevor Bauer. They want him there. Like you said, like they got no money. Like we talked about this last week on the podcast. They don't have much
Yeah.
money. They could go over the luxury tax if they want to, but who knows what Artie Moreno wants to do. I love this signing for the Angels. I think Perry, the new GM's done a really good job bringing in Jose Iglesias, Rafael Iglesias, brings in Quintana now, brings in
Yeah.
Suzuki for $1 million. He's gonna
Yeah,
be
and all the deals they've made, it's $23 million for this season, but
exact,
in
and that's it.
2022,
Yeah,
it's $0. So,
all 1 year
um,
deals. Yeah.
the future flexibility is there.
Hmm.
Plus, you're getting Albert off the books, Heaney's off the books,
Yeah.
Bundy's off the books. So, I mean, right there,
That's like $50 million.
that's some over 50. That's like $65 million
Yeah.
coming off the books. So,
Yeah.
if you did want to go over the luxury tax for Bauer, you can,
Yep.
because you are going to get reset next season.
Hmm.
But another thing they're going to need next season is a shortstop, and we know that there's a lot of good shortstops that are going to command big
Story,
contracts.
Eager,
So,
a lot of them.
um,
Baez.
yeah, who knows? Maybe they just get another stopgap because they do have some prospects there.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that Bauer is the right fit, risky fit. We don't
Really,
know.
really,
We
really.
don't know if he's going to be, last year's Bauer, but you know, we at this point the Angels need to just throw some money at a pitcher that pitcher can't refuse, and Bauer might be the guy.
If
Bauer might be the
if
guy.
if they don't get Bauer, I think they're gonna either shift their focus into a trade or sign a guy like Odorizzi. I think that would be
Yeah.
a good move for them.
Well, now there's rumors all out of left field that they're trying to get Brad Hand. So Brad Hand's at least 10 million.
Yep.
So if you're gonna get Brad Hand, that's gonna take you even closer to luxury tax.
That did come out of left field,
Yeah.
I must say, because like
Yeah.
a
They
week
just
ago,
got Iglesias. I
a
mean,
week ago, everybody thought he was going to the Mets. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and we'll get into the Mets in a little bit, but
Yeah.
let's move on. John Lester went to the Nats.
Yep.
It's starting to be pretty good offseason for the Nats for what they can do. It was only a $5 million deal, which Lester's been paid all throughout his career. So I feel like the money wasn't an issue here to Lester, and he gets an opportunity to become the fourth starter in a rotation with Scherzer, Corbin, Strasburg.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good fit. Um, the the Nationals are not a good defensive team though,
No.
unless
He's a
there's
ground
a
ball pitcher.
yeah. Well, yeah, he's contact pitcher. He doesn't strike out
No.
many guys.
Not
So
anymore. Yeah. Yeah. But like
yeah,
I like this move though. Like, I mean, you had a guy like John Lester, a guy, he's a lot like Quintana. He's gonna take the ball every 5 days and he's gonna do good. He's gonna eat innings for you. And the fact that they only paid him $5 million um is really solid.
yeah,
Sticking with another lefty. Jay Happ goes to the Minnesota Twins on a 1 year, $8 million contract. It's very similar to Jose Quintana. That same deal, similar deal. I would have thought Jay Happ would have got maybe something in the 10 range, but I mean, with the market, how slow it is, teams hesitant to put some money up. Twins get a good starter here. They're going to lose Jake Odorizzi, it looks like. You got Jose Barrios in there. What's that? Pineda, he's coming back.
yeah.
It's good value signing for the Twins.
Yeah, I mean, the Twins are having an awful offseason.
Oh
They're
yeah,
losing a lot of players as of right now. If Cruz is gone,
Rosario's gone.
it's looking like a lost year to me.
They got to do
So
something quick, or they might not even make the playoffs. If they lose
well,
that
the
many
White Sox have
guys,
made some big moves,
they have
and the Twins are not matching them.
no.
So, um, I mean, they're obviously the wild card spots there, but with the firepower the White Sox have added, plus Michael Kopech possibly coming back into the mix
Phew.
this year, with Lance Lynn getting out of that rotation,
Yeah,
you know, I
brought
I
in
don't see
brought in Liam
I,
Hendricks to shore up that bullpen.
the AL Central is usually a very weak division.
It is.
There's
Yeah.
usually a top dog, and the rest of the division
Well, I
is
mean,
not
at
fighting.
one point, the whole division was rebuilding. I mean, you had the White
Yeah.
Sox rebuilding, you had the Tigers rebuilding, you had the Royals rebuilding, and it was
Yep.
just basically the Indians and the
The
Twins,
Twins.
right? So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what Minnesota does. I do think they will bring back Nelson Cruz. Like, part of me thinks, like, if this guy was going to sign there, wouldn't it be done already?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, why would you be waiting for the DH to be announced in the National League
and then more people can get him. More
if you
people
wanted to
can.
stay in Minnesota?
Yeah. It's
I honestly think that the Astros are big players for Nelson Cruz and Marcell Ozuna.
really.
That is that I have a
They're-
feeling for whatever reason that they're gonna try to replace that bat and Springer with one of those two guys. And it's not gonna be a long term commitment.
like a
It's gonna
2-3
be
year deal.
for Ozuna it'd be like a 3 year deal, and for Nelson Cruz 1 year deal.
Yeah, no, like the Astros are trying to keep their window open, try to
Yeah.
extend it, maybe get one more run.
Yep.
They still
They've
got
already added Pedro Baez.
they
They're
still
linked
got
to Brad Hand.
they still got
So
Correa, Altuve, Bregman,
Correa's a free agent. This is coming up.
what's it? Alvarez. He's coming back.
Jordan. Yeah.
Jordan he didn't play much last year,
And
but
he is a DH too, but then
that's a
you'd have to
guy.
play him in the field.
Yeah, he's not very good in the outfield. Neither is Ozuna.
Yeah, but that short porch and left. That's
True.
the thing I'm
You could
thinking.
stick him in
So,
left. You could stick him in
yeah.
left.
You could hide him in left. Let's say that.
So where you put Brantley though?
Right field, I guess.
Yeah. So the Astros, it'd be interesting to see what they do to try to extend that
Well, they need
window.
a center fielder too. So
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I have a
they
feeling
got Tucker.
for whatever reason.
Tucker will probably be their center
Oh,
fielder,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, but he's a corner guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They need a Yuli Gurriel too. Is DH'd a lot last year.
The window there for the Angels, it's there to just try to take over that division. The Athletics.
Well, the A's have an opportunity too if they can add some real
sign some
pieces
guys.
for a trade or something.
Yes, like if that Astros team is going to get blown up. I don't think Carlos Correa will be back. I think he'll be gone.
Yeah.
So the time for the A's and the Angels is right now. Like try to take over this.
Seattle's on the
upcoming
upcoming
for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
going over to a couple former All-Star relievers. Chris Davinsky goes to the D-backs, and Wade Davis goes back to Kansas City, where he had some excellent years. Was a big part of that bullpen when they won the World Series in 2015. Devency to the D-backs has the potential to be quite the bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously, both these guys coming off uh, pretty much bad last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But Davis had some magic in Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe that's the place he needs to go to find himself again. We saw Trevor Rosenthal go there. We saw Greg Holland go there, and Greg Holland's bounce back.
Yep.
So hopefully Wade Davis can, find himself a bit and maybe get moved at the deadline and go on a playoff run. As far as Davinsky, I mean, I think that he's been his big issue is walks.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
wild.
it's just, his command needs to get better. Maybe a new pitching coach will help him out there. Um, but yeah, I'm not too high, not too low on these deals.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they're minor league deals for a reason.
Yep. Yep.
But they have some potential. There's bounce back.
Dylan, did you hear the Padres made another trade? This time they got Joe Musgrove. Crazy. They bring in
Yep.
Darvish, they bring in Blake Snell. Now they trade for Joe Musgrove. Quite the rotation. Quite the rotation in San Diego that they've got going. So they bring in Musgrove for David Bednar and 3 prospects. So it'll be interesting to see where Musgrove fits in here.
Yeah, you're a pretty busy guy today, huh? Everybody's calling you.
I don't know what is going on here. Well,
Yeah, everybody wants to talk to you today.
I don't know. Let me just change this here real quick.
But yeah, you go into Joe Musgrove. I'll talk about it while Blake tries to figure out his secret admirer is trying to call him. Yeah, it's a great deal for the Padres. That rotation just got deeper, and it's a scary rotation. They're beginning to be players here. Um, and I I think with obviously Tatis, Machado, Hosmer in that lineup. They added Kim, um, Pham coming back, Myers on a good year last year. Now you just complement it with this rotation, and the Dodgers now maybe they do feel a little pressure to go get Bauer,
Yeah.
and we'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, great move for the Padres. They have the prospect capital. They're not giving up anything significant, really, to where their farm system is hampered. It's still a great farm system, even with all the moves they've made. They most importantly, they still have a guy named Mackenzie Gore coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, it's a great move for them.
I apologize, guys, for that. That's just ridiculous on my part. But let's go talk about the Mets here real quick. A very unfortunate situation broke out early this week. Jared Porter fired 57 days after he was hired by the Mets to be their GM. Photos from 2016 resurfaced, and that he sent inappropriate photos to a reporter. The Mets found out late Monday night, and he was immediately fired Tuesday morning. Just very unprofessional that stuff like this was done by a guy at the top of the level, right?
Yep.
Top of the mountain, and now he might not be getting another job in baseball ever again. So it's tough when stuff like this happens, but the Mets had to do this. It was the right move. It would have been really bad PR if they didn't fire him, but just a very weird situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you read. I'm sure you did. You read the
Yeah.
the article. You saw the text messages. Whoever hasn't seen them, you don't know what we're talking about by now. Um, as Blake said, he sent explicit pictures as well as about 60 texts with no response to a foreign reporter. Um, Very desperate, I will say.
Yes.
I don't mean to bash this guy, but he is married. He has kids. Hopefully, you know, this is such a bad mistake that it can wake him up a bit and try
Yeah.
to be a better man.
Yeah.
That's all I could say.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. This one is a colossal one. He's gonna have to pay the price. He's paying the price, and you know, he might have just lost the thing he loves most. One of the most important things in his life, and that's baseball. That's unfortunate. But it's the negative news doesn't come any. You know, it's there's more negative news here with the Mets.
For
They
sure.
missed out on Springer.
Yeah.
Like we said before, Brad Hand apparently, Ken Rosenthal, who needs to take a break, take a vacation or something, and reset. He's messed up multiple deals in the past 2 weeks.
Oh.
He going back to that, he announced that Brad Hand signed with the Mets.
Like a week ago. And we're like,
And we are here, and now Brad Hand is not signed with the Mets. George Springer, their biggest target, I would say.
Yeah.
He signs with the Jays.
Yeah.
So the Mets are gonna Met right now, and that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
But hopefully we could grab reins of this thing and get back on that hype train.
Yeah.
Okay. The hype train came to a halt for a minute.
Yeah.
We gotta kick her back up, start her up, and let's get her moving again. And the only way to do that, we gotta add an outfielder. I would say probably a left-handed bat. And
JBJ is their target, right? Their
JBJ
backup plan.
And Jock Peterson.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I think those are the only two guys that you really. Jock isn't really a center fielder, but he can play center field. Okay. And then you have Kike Hernandez, who can play all over the place, which would be a great signing.
Yeah.
These three guys, I think, are the next targets when it comes to the Mets. Obviously, we've heard that Bauer is on the radar.
They don't. Crazy.
But they have DeGrom, Carrasco, Syndergaard, Stroman, Peterson, Matz, Chesty now in that Padres deal.
They do not need Bauer.
Yeah. So at this point, it's like I think the rotation's okay. I think you'll be good not to go after Bauer. Too. The bullpen on paper looks amazing.
Yeah.
Let's add some real pieces to this lineup. Obviously, they have lots of money to spend. And if you want to really add impact bat, you go with Marcell Ozuna. Going back to Marcell Ozuna.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if the DH gets announced, they already have Dom Smith. But he can be used as a trade piece. Let's look at their lineup here. They have, Real Muto still. They just got James McCann, but
yeah,
they have James McCann behind the plate, Alonso at first, McNeil at second, Lindor at short, JD Davis at third.
Yeah.
Smith
in left.
Conforto in right.
Yeah.
Smith in left.
And Brandon Nimmo is in center.
Center field.
You can't go into the offseason with Brandon Nimmo as your starting center fielder. You can't do that.
You could. He has upside. He does.
Sure, but I'd rather bring in a guy like JBJ to play center field than Brandon Nimmo.
But if you're saying, how do I get this team better? Yeah, you're going to go get a bat, a guy that can swing the bat. Yeah. And out of all those players, JBJ, Jock, and Kike, I go with Jock. Because Jock's going to smack you 30 home.
You think Jock can play center?
Yeah, I do. Okay. He's played center with the Dodgers, and he's basically Brandon Nimmo, but with power and a track record, right? So
for sure.
If you're gonna have Brandon Nimmo in center, might as well have Jock. Have Nimmo on the bench. Kike, I don't think would be a center fielder every day. And the Mets playing a big ballpark. That's why JBJ makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
But JBJ is not the best offensive threat here.
For sure.
So maybe they feel like, hey, we already got Lindor. That's a big enough boost to our lineup. But yeah, and we'll see. See what's going on with this Brad Hand thing too.
Well, then there was a report that came out today that the Mets and Angels are front runners for Bauer. There's been talks of Bauer potentially going to the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening either. They're another team that doesn't really need starting pitching. They got Kershaw, Buehler. You got David Price coming back. Who knows?
May, Urias.
Dustin May, Urias, who was really good in the World Series. It'll be interesting.
Let's talk about this though for a second.
Okay.
The Dodgers have done this every single offseason. Garrett Cole at our price.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harper at our price. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're third season in a row, offseason in a row. Bauer at our price.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The thing that makes it tricky is Bauer would be going to the Dodgers on a
2-year deal.
2-year deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Bauer's not opposed to short-term deals.
I think it'd be a big mistake if he didn't sign a long-term deal, though.
And I would agree with that. Okay. Now let's run down the list. Okay. Now let's wipe out the Dodgers, take them to the side.
Yep.
Mets or Angels. Obvious fit is the Angels.
Yep.
Okay. And I feel like it's the obvious fit because you want to. I don't know if anybody's seen the video where he's talking about a partnership, what he wants in a team.
He
Okay.
wants to go every 4 days.
He wants to go every 4 days. The Mets are not going to allow that. The Dodgers are not going to allow that.
No.
The only team that's going to allow that is either the Jays or the Angels.
Yep.
Okay. Or the Giants, maybe, but I don't know why you'd go to the Giants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're going to the Angels, you then surround yourself with Anthony Rendon, Shohei Ohtani, okay, a Hall of Famer in Albert Pujols, and obviously Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Okay. Vlog content. Okay. Superstars.
Yep.
The chance to be a true ace. You're not behind DeGrom. You're not behind Buehler Kershaw. Okay. True ace. You are the ace of this team.
Yep.
It's all on your back, that's what he wants, right? Okay. And then at the same time, you got an ownership group that wants to win, and you have a GM that just came in from an organization, the Braves, who has had great success bringing in talent and developing talent.
Yep.
Okay. If I'm Trevor Bauer, I get to come home and I get to pitch in front of my parents for the rest of my career, or at least half of the rest of my career.
Yep.
Okay. I get to go to Arizona spring training, continue my vlog stuff, continue my sit downs with players.
Yep.
I get to be the guy, and I get to help an organization that struggled to make the playoffs for the past 10 years.
Yep.
Finally get over the hump. I don't understand, because the Jays are in the same boat.
Yeah.
They've made the playoffs 3 times in the past 27 years. Okay, it's not really like they're much different. No offense, but it's not like it's.
No
the Angels
secret.
had great, the Angels had great success from 2000 to 2010, and they've made the playoffs once since 2011 to now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think if you're going Angels, Jays, it would make sense for you to go to the Angels.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
for sure.
Would you agree with that? You're a Jays fan.
Well, I mean, the Jays can give him more money than the Angels, right?
Okay.
That would be obvious reason to pick Jays over Angels. He said he doesn't care about geographic stuff, but
I think
personally, I would go to the Angels. I mean,
yeah, but what I'm saying is, you're saying they can give him more money. I think Angels match whatever, or come close to matching whatever deal, because they're going to go with a luxury tax no matter what.
Sure. So we forgot to mention something when we were talking about George Springer. The Mets offered him 6 years, 125 mil, and the Blue Jays said, "Oh, okay, we're going to give you 6 years. We'll give you 150 mil." So that's 25 mil. That $25 million is a lot of money. Like if the Jays had to go the extra 25 mil to get Springer, because if they both go 6 years, 125, he's signing with the Mets, right? The Blue Jays had to pony up, give some more money. So I don't know if they want to get in a bidding war for Bauer, because that will be costly. I don't think that's the right option to do that. But if I had to choose the Angels or the Blue Jays, I'd pick the Angels, because, like you said, you get to play in front of Rendon, who's one of the best third basemen in the league. Mike Trout is the best player in baseball. Plus
the most unique player in Shohei Ohtani.
And it's nice weather there. It's beautiful there. It's beautiful.
Well, yeah, he's from Southern California.
Yeah,
his parents live in Southern California.
You get to pitch home.
He's in the process of opening a baseball facility in Arizona. Okay. How are you going to use your baseball facility in Arizona if you're going to Florida? For you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Are you really going to utilize your own facility if you're in Florida?
Got to pack up shit.
I mean, I'm not trying to read into like all these small hints of maybe where he's going. What?
It's fun. It's a fun game to play, though.
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, it's to me, it's Dodgers or Angels.
It's hard.
I think the Mets are out of this.
No, they're off. And the Blue Jays are only in if they overpay him. That's the only way the Jays get Bauer.
So who would be the dark horse here? The Astros?
The Giants,
the Astros would be
I don't
Astros?
know.
Giants?
I cannot
White
see
Sox?
this man
Which
going,
White Sox would be like, I don't know.
I can't see him going to the Astros after all the shit that he talked on the vlogs about them. He's such a troll, though. Every single different video he comes out with, he's wearing a different hat. He's talking about this. He FaceTimes fans to make pitches, and it's cool. It's like a behind the scenes stuff that you don't really see from athletes. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I hope he makes a decision soon because spring training is right around the corner. So with that, that'll be the end of episode 20. Hopefully we got some more signings to talk about next week on episode 21. What a jam-packed episode this was, and I hope you guys all enjoyed listening, besides my FaceTimes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take care.